In this next part, now we are working with subtracting and scientific notation, and it's going to be the same process. Since in this example, our exponent is 3, and they're both the same, so we can just start subtracting right away. So I'm going to write 7.9 minus 4.5 times 10 to the third. So when you're subtracting, make sure you line up your decimals. So 7.9 minus 4.5. So 9 minus 5, that's going to be 4. Decimal, 7 minus 4, that's going to be 3. So 3.4 times 10 to the third. Now I don't have to worry about 3.4 because it's actually between 1 and 10. And if I were to check my decimal place in the original problem, they both have 1 decimal place. My answer has 1 decimal place, so I'm good to go with that one. And I'm going to box it that this is my final answer, 3.4 times 10 to the third. In our next example, we have 8.4 times 10 to the 6 minus 1.2 times 10 to the 5th. Now you already noticed that we have different exponent on the 10. So what we need to do is that we need to have same exponent. So we always want to work with the highest. You can work with the lowest, and you just go in the opposite direction with the decimal point. But usually I'm going to stick with the highest. So the first one is going to stay the same, so 8.4 times 10 to the 6 minus, since I want to go from 5 to 6, meaning I'm going to increase my exponent by 1, I'm going to move my decimal 1 time to the left. So it's going to be 0.12 times 10 to the 6. Now, my exponent is the same. I'm going to combine these two numbers together. So 8.4 minus 0.12 times 10 to the 6. Now, I'm going to line up my decimal. My first number is 8.4 minus 0.12. Now, since 8.4 it has 1 decimal place, 0.12 has 2 decimal places, I'm going to add a 0 behind the 4. So instead of 8.4, it would be 8.40. Now, when I'm subtracting 0 minus 2, well then, I can't just do that. I can change the 0 into 10 by taking 1 away from the previous number. So instead of 4, it would be 3. So that's how we subtracted in middle school. You're going to do the same thing right here. So when it's 0 minus a number, I can change it, or basically the top number is less than the bottom. I'm going to change it into like a 10 from 0, or if it had been like 11, then 1, then I could change it into 11 by taking 1 away from the previous number that's next to it. So let me repeat that. Since the 0 is less than 2 and I'm subtracting, in order for it to change the 0 into a 10, I took 1 from 4 and moved it to 0, making it 10. Had this been 1, and if I want to change it to 11, I would just take 1 from the number that's next to it. So like this 4, I would take 1 from it and make it 11. So 10 minus 2, that's 8. 3 minus 1, that's 2. 8 minus 0 is just 8. So it's going to be 8.28 times 10 to the 6th power. Now, in the original, I had 1 decimal place. And in the new form, 8.4 stayed the same. And now it's 0.12, which is 2 decimal places. Again, I always want to go with the lowest or the least, so 1 decimal place. I have 2 right now, so I need to convert it or round to 1 decimal place. So it's going to be 8 point. Now since it's 0.28, the 8 is higher than 5, I'm actually going to round up. So it's going to be 8.3 times 10 to the 6. And this would be my final answer. In this last example, we have 5.9 times 10 to the 8th minus 7.9 times 10 to the 7th. Again, our exponents are different. So I want to continue with using the highest, which is to the 8th. So this will stay the same. And then if I want to go from 7 to 8, I'm going to increase by one exponent. I'm going to move my decimal to the left one time. So it's going to be 7.9 times 10 to the 8th. Since they have the same exponent, then I'm just going to combine my numbers. So 5.9 with 0.79 times 10 to the 8th. Now I'm going to line up my decimal when I'm subtracting. So 5.9 minus 0.79. Now, just like before, my 5.9 only has one decimal place, whereas 0.79 has two decimal places. So I'm going to add a 0 behind 5.9. So instead of 5.9, it's actually 5.90. Alright, so if I were to work this out, it's 0 minus 9. So when we're subtracting this way, and 0 is less than 9, I'm going to change 0 into 10. In order to do that, I'm going to take 1 from 9, making this 8. When I do that, the 1 that I took away, I'm going to add it to the 0, or combine it and making it 10. So 10 minus 9 is 1. 8 minus 7 is 1. 5 minus 0 is 5. So if you were to add these together, you should have gotten 5.90. So 5.11 times 10 to the 8th. Based on the original problem, I have one decimal place. In the new form, I have one decimal place and two decimal places. Again, I'm going with the least amount of decimal place, so 0.11, I'm actually going to round down, so it's going to be 5.1 times 10 to the 8th. And this will be my final answer. And that's it.